Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On The Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Orduna, this is my mom Gina.
He is the journalist.
She's the enthusiast.
I am extremely enthusiastic because we get to talk about my absolute favorite topic today, the NFL.
Yes, we do have a lot of NFL talk that we want to talk about, and it's really just in particular when it comes to the quarterbacks.
A couple of QBs.
Because there's some free agent quarterbacks right now that have made the news recently,
yes,
in good and bad ways. And so we want to highlight those guys right now. And so we've got the NFL Combine, the scouting combine that takes place first. And then you've got all the pro days that take place in between the combine and the NFL draft.
Right.
And then you've got the actual NFL draft that happens. And then everyone has their rookie camps. And then you've got OTAs that happen basically right after that, and then everyone comes in, and then it's basically full camps and just team workouts.
And OTA stands for what? Optional
organized team activities.
See, I thought it was optional. But
no, there's no optional when it comes to football.
Organized team activities.
Exactly. So we're talking about the quarterback position right now, and there's been some big news in this offseason about teams that need some of these younger guys, Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Kaiser, Patrick Mahomes, even Mitchell Trubisky. There have been a lot. This has been a really good quarterback class.
I felt like it.
And last year there was only two main guys that everyone was talking about. We had other guys that we were in favor for, and those guys actually did pretty well.
Yes.
But everyone was talking about Jared Goff and Carson Wentz last year. And then obviously we were talking about Dak Prescott.
Yes, and Christian Hackenberg.
Yes, and Christian Hackenberg, who went to the Jets. Last year there wasn't a huge free agency run for quarterbacks like there kind of has been this year. Mike Glennon, who was the backup to Jameis Winston.
Down in Tampa Bay.
Yes, who was a starter for a little bit, but really once they drafted Jameis, they're like, you're the backup. He went to the Bears, had a 2-year deal, signed a 2-year deal, but the Bears ended up picking up Mitchell Trubisky. Then you have guys that are like Tony Romo, who decided, hey, I'm done.
Well,
and I'm going to CBS.
Jay Cutler decided he was done. He's going to Fox.
Jay Cutler also decided that he was going to do the analyst booth as well. So it's kind of been those storylines this whole offseason. Well, the other big storyline has really, for the most part, been Colin Kaepernick and what his plans are moving forward. Everyone has been on him for really just being an advocate of some real issues that have been taking place in this country, and that's just not just unarmed black men, but people just getting killed by the police for the most part, but specifically to the black community. He's trying to really take a stand on making sure that this is an issue that doesn't just continue to get swept under the rug, because this has continued to happen for a very, very long time.
Last summer in particular was another bad summer. You go back about 2 years prior to that, when Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by some rogue what a neighborhood watch guy.
Yeah, a few years ago. Down in Florida. Yes.
And then we had kind of a rash of shootings then, and then we kind of had a lull, and then last summer was particularly bad. And Colin Kaepernick said, look, this is not justice. This doesn't feel like justice. So he said, look, I'm not going to stand during the national anthem. And so he sat for the first couple of games, preseason games, I think it was. And then he talked to some armed service people, and they said, look, it feels disrespectful to sit. Why don't you take a knee? So trying to honor our servicemen and women, but still take a stand that says right now my country isn't living into the justice I think it should. So he started taking a knee during the national anthem.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. The right to protest, to peaceful protest, which this country was founded on.
Right.
The right to free speech. He executed it, and now he's a free agent.
Yes.
And he's like poison. People don't want to touch him.
If they've said black marked, blackballed, exactly, all those old term Hollywood phrases. But it's not like when Michael Brown got shot in St. Louis, and everyone was out there rioting and breaking into looting and breaking into business. He's not leading things like he's not leading any bad marches or anything like that. All he was doing was peacefully protesting by taking a knee during the national anthem, which is his right to do. And ever since he started doing that, he's just been getting destroyed by everybody possible. And so he is still on the market right now as a free agent.
Which is crazy because you got like Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert getting, yes.
Who really shouldn't carry water for Colin
Right,
Kaepernick,
thank you.
Who have signed multi-million-dollar contracts
exactly.
on teams.
Correct.
And that's ridiculous.
Correct. So I guess there is some silver lining in what's going on is the Seattle Seahawks are showing interest in him as a potential backup quarterback. And now the big thing for Colin is he willing to fully take a backup role if that's offered to him? Because he is a potential starting quarterback. He's a starting quarterback in this league right now. He really is.
Well, if you think about it, there's 32 teams.
Yes.
And they carry usually just 2 quarterbacks.
For the most, 2 to 3, but yeah.
So you're saying out of 64 quarterbacks, is he better than 32 of them? Absolutely.
Yes.
He is one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the league right now.
Exactly.
You're looking at some teams that have quarterbacks, you're just like, come on, man.
I mean, the Browns wouldn't even sniff at him. I mean,
what are the Jaguars going to do?
The Jags, exactly. There are a lot of teams out there that are in need of a quarterback,
exactly,
and could benefit from his talents, and experience. The dude played in the Super Bowl and should have won,
and has numerous playoff game experience.
Right, exactly. So it's one of those situations where he is finally starting to get some phone calls, and we kind of expected this to happen once the draft finally happened. I've been saying as the dust settles, as the excitement of whoever everyone has signed,
the new toy wears off.
People are going to look at the rosters and say, okay, who do we actually have, and do we believe in these guys? And so Kaepernick is now finally getting some interest, which he should have gotten interest a long time ago.
Right.
But he is finally starting to get some interest. RG3 is actually starting to get some interest. This is a guy that has been injury prone for the most part of his whole career.
The entire NFL career.
He has great football IQ, extreme arm talent. He's just extremely skinny.
He reminds me of Michael Vick Light.
Yes,
you know
that's
what I mean?
A great point.
Like you
Michael
got Budweiser and Bud Light.
Right, exactly.
He's like Michael Vick Light.
Yes.
Because he is thin and he is prone to getting injured.
Right. And Michael Vick was basically 6 foot. He was basically a running back playing quarterback and could run over you, juke you, outrun you, and have a cannon arm.
Ball.
You know, RG3 is about 6'2", almost 6'3", has a cannon arm.
110 pounds.
He's just a rail. And so those hits.
Not really.
No, exactly. But that's kind of the point, is that those hits start to mount up pretty quickly. And so people were on him last year as being the Browns quarterback. He has potential if he stays healthy. He could maybe do something to kind of resurrect his career from being on Washington's roster. But again, he just got injured, and it was really hard for him to stay healthy. But he is getting interest as, again, a potential backup quarterback. But, hey, that's good when you're
what's the team that's giving both of them interest?
It is the Seattle Seahawks. And so, and we're actually going to stay right up there in the Northwest with Seattle. The actual backup quarterback, we're talking about Trevon Boykin, who was the all-star quarterback for TCU coming out of the Big 12 a couple years ago. Actually, he was a rookie last year in the NFL and had a huge preseason. Was killing it those first four games.
Well, we saw him torch our very own K-State Wildcats.
I mean,
did a
this
dude, comeback.
He's an athlete.
He is.
That man can make plays. He's got some talent. Right. And his biggest problem is that he doesn't have injuries. He just can't stay out of trouble. And so we all know what happened.
Let's talk about his trouble.
Yeah.
Right before the bowl game, he goes in, he's in his hotel, he makes bed check, and then sneaks out afterwards.
Right.
Goes to the club, instead just sneaking into the club, having a little fun,
just being in the corner.
He gets in a fight with one of the bouncers and an off-duty police officer.
Right.
And gets sent home from the bowl game.
Correct.
Which cost him all kind of money in the draft.
Yes.
It lowered his draft status.
People weren't trying to touch him. Yeah,
but
exactly.
Seattle took a chance on him, brought him in, because, you know, and he did good in the preseason.
He did good.
Last year.
He did well. Exactly.
And then this knucklehead.
He got in trouble. It's off season right now. He's down back home in Dallas. Apparently, now this was at the end of March, basically, so just about a month ago, not too long ago, just, you know, a month and change ago. He's down in Texas, back home in Dallas. He and his buddy are they're inebriated, just completely destroyed. They run over some people some pedestrians over a sidewalk, and then they crash into a bar. I don't think they were intentionally trying. I don't know if they knew exactly where they were at. But they crashed into a bar, and they injured the bartender that's working in the bar. So they crashed through a wall, hit the bartender after hitting 4 other people pedestrians on the sidewalk. And they both got side the drive. Now he was just just a passenger.
But he got cited for drunken intoxication, apparently paraphernalia.
Yeah,
At
the
end of the day, he was doing stuff he wasn't
the
supposed to be
driver
doing.
got DUI, and he was really drunk and wasn't cooperating.
And there's going to be quite a bit of legal trouble.
Exactly. So
well, staying in Dallas, our new quarterback, young Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, yes.
I can't say
yes,
the baby's
Patrick
name.
Mahomes, yes.
Is going to come to the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was back home in Texas.
Yes, he's down in Tyler, Texas, in his hometown, and he's with his buddy and his buddies, and they basically get held up at gunpoint. They're pulling into a driveway. Don't know exactly which driveway, whose driveway, his house, their house, somebody's house. They were pulling up to a driveway. These two random guys, come up to their vehicle, and they make it seem like they have a gun, a firearm, and the two guys demand that they give them all of their money or whatever they have, and they get robbed at gunpoint. This is just the craziest stuff that you would ever imagine happening. Now, I'm glad it didn't happen here in Kansas City.
Well, when you told me that, I go, where did that happen
exactly.
here?
No, it didn't happen here.
We
but
have sense in Kansas
we
City.
do. It does get a little crazy sometimes, but for the most part, everyone is well respected. Right.
We all have our neighborhoods.
Well, the good news is that Patrick Mahomes is fine. His friends are fine. They caught the two guys. They got their stuff back, and the Chiefs were super on the situation, and so I'm sure he'll be having extra security walking around.
So basically, Patrick's good. Trevon Boykin is out. I need Kaepernick to land at the Seahawks.
And we'll see what happens with the RG3. So, exactly. But we wanted to give you that quarterback update as the free agencies are still happening. And there's a lot more to happen as the season is nearing closer. And so we want to say we appreciate your time, folks. Continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page. See you next time, folks.